Welcome to week 6 of Explore the Bible, continuing in the book of Job. Today we're getting to a really cool part. We've you hear from God and from Satan, the very beginning, and then you have this huge part, the whole middle of it, where Job talks and all his friends talk, and they've all got their opinion about things. And now we get to chapter 40, and it's time for the Lord to have His say. And we're going to see what the Lord has to say about things. And so here's where we get some real interesting stuff. Chapter 40, starting in verse 1, the Lord answered Job. That's verse 1, the Lord answered Job. Okay, that's bad news right there. It's just going to be hard. It's not going to be good, right? Will the one who contends with the Almighty correct him? Let him who argues with God give an answer. Ooh, the Lord just suddenly, He shows up in the conversation and He says, hey, Job, you got questions for me, right? You're going to tell me how to do it. You're going to correct me. You want to argue with me? Well, let me ask you some questions. Let me see if you can give some answers. Okay, we're fixing to have serious confrontation here. That's what's going to happen. Job answered the Lord. Okay, humility shows up for Job really quick. Really quick. Job had great patience. I think, as I look at it, I think where he really hurt was in pride. He had a lot of pride that he was so patient. Right? Job answered the Lord, I am so insignificant. How can I answer you? I place my hand over my mouth. I have spoken once, and I will not reply twice, but now I can add nothing. I have said, and I shouldn't have said it then. My mouth is closed. I'm not saying anything. I am insignificant. Who am I? How am I supposed to? I can't do that. Humility shows up for Job quick. Now, I would say this is a good sign, right? Because it doesn't happen for everybody. Not everybody, when confronted by the Lord, will suddenly find humility. Some people want to bow their back up and say, well, I'll just tell you what I think, right? But Job realizes this quickly. I am insignificant. Who am I to stand in front of God? I'm putting my hand over my mouth. I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm not going to say it. I've spoken once. I'm not going to reply twice. That was too much right there. I don't have anything else to say. Then the Lord answered Job from the whirlwind. I wonder what this was like. A whirlwind shows up and the Lord speaks out of it. You think about, we had Moses up on the mountain with a burning bush, right? And then later you get Moses and God speaking out of the cloud, it seems like, right? And remember when Jesus gets baptized and it seems like, the dove descends and it seems like the Lord speaks. When Paul is confronted on the road to Damascus and the Lord speaks and they can hear His voice, but they don't see anything. There's a bright light shining, the Lord speaking out of the clouds or out of the sky. But here He comes from the whirlwind. There is the power of nature and destruction is here, and it is shown up because God is the one who's over all of it, right? He is the one who holds that in His hand. He says, get ready to answer me like a man. You think about when you're a kid and you're kind of wanting to become a man, and your dad says, oh, you want to be a man? Okay, let me just see. This is the Lord says, you stand there, get ready to answer me like a man. Come on, Job. Let's see you answer me like a man. When I question you, you will inform me. Would you really challenge my justice? Would you declare me guilty to justify yourself? Do you have an arm like God's? Can you thunder with a voice like His? No. That's the answer all the time, right? But this is what's happened. Job has wondered about the justice, and the others have wondered, right? They've filled Job with those ideas. And I'm glad we don't ever do that, right? We don't ever wonder where's justice and why isn't God doing something about this and why isn't God... We never do that, do we? But certainly Job did, and the Lord has now shown up, and so we need to take lessons from Job, learn from him so that we don't repeat the same dumb things Job did, right? Don't challenge His justice. Would you declare me guilty to justify yourself? Well, the Lord must be wrong because I can't be wrong. There's no way. I didn't do that. Why is the Lord doing this? Because I didn't deserve this. This is... You read, and I've heard people sometimes preach out of earlier parts of Job and not understand the context of what all was going on there. And the reality of what it is that most of what you read in the middle part of Job is just wrong. It's true what they said, but what they said is not truth. Does that make sense? It was truly recorded what they said, but what they spoke was not truth being spoken. Right? And so they've had this long time to try to say they know better, and now the Lord has showed up and said, "Who do you think you are? Right? You have my arm. Do you have my voice? Is that who you are? Adorn yourself with majesty and splendor. Clothe yourself with honor and glory." Come on. Why don't you, Job, just put on your majesty, put on your splendor, put on your honor. You're going to pour out your raging anger. Look on every proud person and humiliate him. Look on every proud person and humble him. Trample the wicked where they stand. Why don't you do this, Job? This is what God does. Why don't you do this? Hide them together in the dust. Imprison them in the grave. Then I will confess to you that your own right hand can deliver you. Job, who do you think you are? And that is really chapter 40 and 41. It's the Lord saying, you need a proper understanding of who I am and who you are, and you are not me. You don't have any majesty or splendor. You can't adorn yourself with those things, right? Clothe yourself with honor and glory. You can't do that. I can't do that. None of us can do that, right? We can't humble people, humiliate proud people, every single one of them, trample them where they stand, put them in the dust, imprison them in the grave. We can't do that. Who do we think we are? If you do all that, then the Lord says, I'll confess that you can deliver yourself. You see, we can't save ourselves. We can't. We have, no matter what we've done and how good we've been and how much we think we have accumulated towards our own credit, we cannot save ourselves. We cannot. We are incapable of. We have no ability to in any way make ourselves saved, whole, perfect, redeemed. We cannot do it. We cannot rescue our own selves. We can't do it. We can't deliver ourselves from death, from sin, from the power of Satan. We just can't do it. We don't have that. We must have the Lord. He must act on our behalf. He must move in our lives. He must move to save us. Else we are without hope. We're without hope. We are condemned if the Lord doesn't move. This is who we are, and this is what, and just say the health and prosperity gospel really does things. You can speak things into existence. You can say these things and make them happen. No, you can't. You can't do that. The book of Job just totally blows that out of the water. And hey, if you're good, God's going to bless you. No, God is not held to that. God doesn't have to do that. There are plenty of people who are great believers and followers of the Lord who die in poverty, who die martyrs' deaths. Or we just say there somehow it was because they had done something wrong? No. We die because we're human. We suffer because this is the world that we live in. It is saturated with sin, and we suffer because of it. And the Lord will redeem those things, but not necessarily when we want or how we want. We must just trust Him. We need Him. If He doesn't move, we're in trouble. We're in deep trouble. Well, I hope this has helped as you study Job. We're almost to the end. Next week's our last week in Job, so looking forward to that. And God bless you as you teach. Subscribe to the channel, share, like, comment on it. Let us know what your questions are, what you're learning from it. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week.